All right, guys, welcome to the show. This is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. Irene is taking the day off. Hey, I'm just solo dolo today, but that's all right, man. Hey, we got to keep the business going. Things got to keep going no matter what. No matter what.
Right on.
Today, man, I got G3.
Well, 2 out of 3 of G3.
2 out of 3. And I was looking at y'all's little intro, not intro, but your little logo. I was trying to figure out who's who and what's what.
It should be more evident now.
The dead giveaway.
I didn't want to say nothing there. I just want you guys you guys tell me. But welcome to the show, man. I hope you guys have fun tonight, man. B, I know you tried to get it out of me, but I'm not going to tell you what the show is about.
That's all right. I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for anything. If I don't know, it'll be nonsense. It's okay.
Well, I'm going to hit you with everything, including the kitchen sink. So,
all right.
Just be ready for it, man. It's going to be a great podcast. I always try to have a great podcast, where it's a little educational, and we all learn from each other, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly.
As you guys notice, if you ever watch my podcast, you guys know, man, I'm not the typical podcaster. I consider myself the Stephen A. Smith. The podcast community. I do like controversy. And if I agree with you, or if I disagree with you, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you why I disagree with you. So, guys, do not take it personal.
That's communication, bro. That's communication, bro. Yeah, we got to have opinions, and we got to talk it out.
Yes, and that's something that the paranormal community do not like to do. They do not like to talk things out.
That's right.
They like to
and when we're done talking, I'll just tell you you're wrong. It's okay.
Well, then I'll just fly up there and buy you a beer at the local pub, and we'll just continue with the,
That's right.
The discussion. That's right. And just hopefully we don't get into a bar fight after that. But yeah, guys, welcome to the show. I really appreciate you coming out of your Friday to join us. I know you guys. I reached you guys almost a month ago to come on the show, so I'm really sorry about that, man. But
hey, no worries.
It is this show. I don't know what it is about this show, but it's always seemed to be a month out because I got people that wants to come on the show, so I'm trying to scheduling within 2 months. And man, it's been real busy, and it's been real hectic between what's going on in my everyday life and my personal life and the paranormal community and the podcast, so it's pretty busy. But, but the great thing is we're going to talk a little sports here in a minute. get this thing going. Even though B, you don't deal with sports. I'm not sure about OG, Triple OG, but we're gonna figure that out in a minute. I mean,
That's
he
right.
might be a little sports fanatic. The AP poll came out last week. What you guys think about it? Ohio State #1, Oregon #2. Michigan, I think like #9 and #8. I'm not sure. I know they're down there somewhere.
Yeah. I know they've been falling. I know they've been falling, but it's okay. They're in a rebuilding phase.
Well, the one thing I do know is the new coach, you guys, if he can whip Utah into shape, I know he can whip Michigan into shape. It's gonna take some time to get his boys in there.
It's still respectable too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've always been a Michigan fan ever since Harbaugh, ever since they had some of the great running backs there. They had Desmond Howard, and that's how far back I go. So I've always had respect for Michigan. Until they got beat by Appalachian State that year, man. I don't know what the hell was going on.
maybe a little shine before the game.
Man,
a little something.
Not now and again.
But they are an interesting. I love the quarterback, dude. You guys are paying a lot of money. Get what, $100 million, 100 something for this guy. And you guys, do you think he's lived up to expectations on that type of money? I mean, even though you say you don't watch sports, that is an awful lot of money.
I don't watch it, but it doesn't mean that I don't hear it. In the office talk, on the news, people moaning and groaning about it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think most athletes, personally, are overpaid anyway.
Yeah, I think professionally and college level.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad college started getting some pay. So I'll give you that. I'm glad college started getting some money because, they're playing their hearts out. Yeah, they're playing their hearts out, and the school's the only one profiting. And you got to take care of the people that are getting injured, that are doing all the extra work and bringing that money in. So I'm glad that it's hit the college level, but let's not go crazy like it's crazy with pro everything.
Yeah, and you know what? And I don't think it's not just the schools that are getting the money. I think the NCAA had got their hands up.
Oh, of course.
And I wish more people would be like Notre Dame and just be independent. They ain't got to listen to the NCAA bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah, you have to make your own rules.
That's right.
Make your own rules. This, that, I think the games will be a little bit more meaningful.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, what is sports for? It's teach people how to work as a team, teach people about respect, teach people about, getting a job done as a group, and being respectful to each other, so it's all good as long as we remember what that core is. It's teaching some core values to the kids coming up through the system.
Yeah. Man, that's one hell of a system. I can't help but think about just how much money these big schools, how much money they are generating just with. If they take away football, some of these schools will be broke.
Oh yeah.
You got to raise tuition up and all that stuff. Tuition is crazy enough.
Does that money really go to lowering tuition though? Because I think a lot of it goes back into the program.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of them do go back into the athletic program.
Yeah.
Because I know they're doing Phil Knight at Oregon, man. That dude is putting millions of dollars into that school and into the program to win a national championship. It's do or die now. We have the team to do it.
Yeah.
So if we come up any way short on this, heads are going to roll. We might have to send him back down south.
Go back for some more training.
Pack him up and move him back down to Atlanta or wherever Georgia, Alabama is or Georgia is. I'm not sure what city they're in, but Have to move them back down there. But guys, welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you guys joining us. I wish I could have got all three of you guys on the show, but things do happen. Life happens, and I understand that. Hey, I'm one down myself, But
Yeah.
hey, let's get this party started. So I'm gonna jump into a bunch of questions, and feel free to tell me what your heart thinks, man. And and your answers, I'm gonna feed off of you guys. So I hope you guys are pretty good at this. I mean, because I think I'm pretty good at reading people. So, guys, first question today. Paranormal community, man. And this is a big, man, I think I started a lot of BS in this, what I'm about to ask you. So feel free to tell me what you think. I think it's a small problem, but not a big problem. And I'm trying to address it, but I'm going to ask you guys. So feel free. Do we need more diversity in the paranormal community?
Do we need more diversity?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Why wouldn't you?
B, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree with Owen. Why wouldn't we want a
Try
diverse
and capture this from every
paranormal?
single different angle.
Right. Yeah. Why wouldn't we want a
You know?
diverse set of people doing this?
I agree with you, but there are some out there who would totally think otherwise.
And you can't manage what other folks think. You can only manage what you think, and you just gravitate to the people that think like you. So I'll tell you, the paranormal community that we've been dealing with up here in Michigan and kind of in the tri-state area, they're all great people. I haven't had really not a group yet that I've went, wow, these guys, there's something wrong with them. I wouldn't want to be around them. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they're probably all saying that about us. Who knows?
Right.
No, so I think I think you're always going to find folks in any large group that are going to have that divergent opinion. Exactly. And you got to just keep talking to them about it.
Honestly, the if it grabs you and it touches you and you're gravitated to it, yeah, definitely. Anyone, everyone. If that's what you're feeling, then go with it.
Because to be honest with you guys, as being a black man, a lot of people ask me, why do you do what you do? And I always tell people it's because I despite when I am outside, we're all the same inside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got that same want to know feel like Brian and like you, OG. I want to know. It doesn't matter what color I am. We all got that sense of urgency, and I'm not getting any older. So I want, the more urgent it is, the more curious I am. I want to know. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to stop me. I don't think nobody will stop me.
Right. Why would the color of your skin, why would your sexual orientation, why would where you come from in this world have anything to do about if I want to go and investigate somewhere with you?
None of that matters. None of that matters.
Yeah. Bring your gear, man. Bring your gear. Come on up and bring your gear.
But because here's the thing, the people that we are looking for, it doesn't matter to them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they care if you're male. In some instances, they care if you're male or female. Because females have a tendency to get, they have. Well, in my case, they have a tendency to get the short end of the stick sometimes. And I'm not being that. I'm not being a little, but some of my cases, females have always been the ones that got picked on.
And you're probably right there. I think that's just, something that as a human community, we're still trying to come to grips with is this whole equality thing. We really have to take that time, take that minute and think about what we're doing. Everybody's voice matters. Everybody. I don't care I don't male, female. I don't care if you identify as a hamster. Okay, really.
Right.
you know, you know, let's come, let's sit down, let's talk, let's investigate together. You know,
Mhm.
I'm open to everybody's ideas.
Exactly. And you know what? And feeding off what you just said, and I think that's one of the biggest problems that we have is uh there's people say that para unity is all about unity, but if you really look at it, you know, there's a lot of separation, going on.
Mm,
And to me, it's doesn't make any sense to me. You got all female, paranormal
yeah,
investigators that are out here, and they're doing amazing things, dude. I praise
yeah,
them every time I get them on my show.
yeah.
I mean, they're coming out of the closets, and
Yes, they
I
are.
want them to come on, guys. We need you.
That's right.
As much as I need
Different.
the guy down the street that's keep knocking over my trash cans, he gets me up to come pick him up every day. And but I see he the one that gets me out the house, so I need him.
That's right.
I I need these guys. I need these women to come out.
That's right.
And they doing it slowly but surely, and I praise them every time.
Hmm. I'm
But
with you
I
there.
go ahead.
I said I'm with you there.
Yeah. And another thing that gets under my skin, I hope it gets under your skin, and I'm gonna let you guys preach on this. Uh the word ghost hunters. We need to stop using that word. We really freaking do. We don't
Yes.
need it. We need to just take it out of the damn paranormal vocabulary, out of the dictionary, period.
It's
Because
very
people
underqualifying.
Yeah.
underqualified and it's so disrespectful.
Yeah,
And it
very
really is.
underqualifying. Like this is way more than hunting ghosts.
Yeah. Don't picture me in like an Elmer Fudd hat with a net out there trying to capture Casper. Please. That's not what it's about.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at this through that science lens. I want to understand. I want empirical data. I want data over time. I
Mhm.
want to understand, is it real? Is it not real? If it is real, what's the cause behind it? So it is paranormal investigation. So to
Yes.
say it's ghost hunting, well, I think that's yeah, that's definitely not a term I would use.
Yeah, and
And
I
I
gravitate towards trying to communicate with that other side. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the fascination for me.
yes, you're absolutely right. But the biggest thing is this, guys, that I really think that we need the most out of all of this is let me be recognized, not just on social media,
Mhm.
not just on Facebook, YouTube, because everybody in the world who has a Facebook know what I do. But
Mm.
does the scientific world know what I do? Do
And that's
they
the bridge.
understand what I do?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the bridge that's never truly been crossed, in my opinion, is it's still looked at as a pseudoscience. It's still looked at as it's either fake or it's looked at as just convolutions of data to prove a point. And it really isn't. If you talk to people that are really, really, really passionate about this, it really is about doing those real scientific methods, measuring over time in a place, how is the moisture in the air affecting how your readings are? How is your EMF readings varying by day, by hour, through the weather? How is that impacting over a period of time? So you collate, you gather all this data, just like you would do for any other career, and you process it, and then you look for those things that stand out. You see something visual, you know okay, what could cause that? I think that we're not even talking about, and I'm on my soapbox now. Sorry about that. But I think we're not even exploring what part of this is neurologically bound with us, you know? So what I would love, get me in a place for a week, give me all my gear, let me just dump me there and give me something to track my brain energy as I'm there for that entire week's time. And let's see if I'm having experiences, what's going on physically around me? What's the environment doing? And what am I doing physically?
Right. But here's the case, guys, and and I'm going to look at this from another side. I'm not going to look at this as a paranormal investigator. Right now, I'm going to take that out of me and I'm going to throw it over there. You know, the thing that gets me is there are so many pseudosciences out there, but yet they get acknowledged for what they do and what they see. How is that even possible when we present something to the table and they something? I mean, it's there. It's just like a UFO, the ufologists. Okay,
Yes.
here's the thing: for whatever evidence or video they can put out, I can put that out too. We can put that together. Okay. Another thing, for every picture that they put out, I can put the same picture out. What makes theirs more credible than mine?
Well, right. And and I think it's
And neither one of them, I'm the middleman, and I can say to either one of them, you don't have a valid point. I mean, I don't see nothing substantial. I don't see nothing actual factual. Okay, right. I can see something that's floating in the sky, and I can say that's anything. I can say, hey, it's one of these things I got right here. It can be one of those, windmills or whatever the case may be. Same thing with the guy over here on the right. Oh, yeah, well, I can see that, but hey, could that be ball lightning? Could that be something that's not paranormal? So how many times are we going to keep bumping heads with these other pseudosciences? They're getting acknowledged. Some of them are, and we're not.
Well, but we shouldn't be trying to bump head to head with them either, because to me, it's all one basket. I mean, you look at the image behind me, we say, 3G paranormal, but we really look at some of this other stuff too, around cryptids, around UFO stuff, so we dip into all of it because all of it's the same thing. It's all about how do we prove these things that people have these experiences, because I don't want to downplay somebody's experience that they had. I want to understand it. And I think
the only problem that I have is it's not the person on the right and it's not the person on the left. It's the person in the middle. It's your scientific community are forcing us to bump heads. They're making us.
Yeah.
These guys are the ones that are saying, okay, this is a little bit more credible than that one. And I'm like, no, I don't see your logic here because to me, it's not making any sense. How can this be factual, but I see this apparition right here, and it's clearly an apparition, but the first thing they're going to say is, hey, that's AI generated. Well, this stuff was coming out before even AI was even a part of society.
Right. Well, I mean, it's the same with the UFO stuff. How much of that has been faked and proven faked because there's bad actors out there wanting attention,
See, but the one thing, but the one thing, but the one thing that's holding ufology credible is the same people that we pay our tax dollars to.
Well,
those are the guys that are holding this. Those are the guys that are holding, they're making the ufologists feel more credible than the paranormal investigators.
Oh, see now, all that is smoke and mirrors, buddy. All that is smoke and mirrors. Until our lovely government decides it's going to drop down some hard data on what this is, like, oh, yes, Area 51 exists. Oh, yes, we really do have these alien bodies, and give us some hard proof, even though it's our own government passing this stuff out like candy to distract us from everything else going on in the world, you know, it's still conjecture, because for the agencies within our government, it's still unidentified. So they don't know what it is. They're just releasing data, to add fuel to the fire, which is why they're getting all the attention right now. But it's still suspect.
But see, the thing is that they're getting acknowledgement from it.
Right.
They're actually getting the feedback. You know,
Right.
if I was to take my little black suitcase and I was to go up to the White House, and if I was to show pictures of something that's unexplainable or a possible ghost or spirit, who do you think that would take more credible? The right or the left?
I think that there would be elements on both sides that would take that as credible. But it's always got to be the far edges. It's the center that's having the hard time with it. And that's why we have, as a community, we have to be inclusive, band better together, share our data freely, and get this in the public eye as much as we can, to get people to take a serious look at it. And we need to be able to talk about real potential explanations for it.
Okay. B, will that
Yeah.
be enough? Will that be enough?
I don't know, but we have to try.
I mean, dude, I think we've been trying since the 70s. I mean, we've been trying since the 60s, the 40s. Ever since the first paranormal investigator came on the scene, we've been trying. And I think we're just right now stuck in a damn loop where we're just going over and over and over again.
Yeah, I can agree with that, and really, if you think about it, paranormal is ingrained in the human psyche for as long as there's been a human psyche. There's always been stories, tales, historical writings that talk about cryptids, ghosts, and there's even on the UFO side, these, Nausicaa lines and other things where were the aliens around, thousands of years ago. So all of this is in our human psyche. It's just we're not getting our time in the sun like UFO is right now. And neither is cryptid. Cryptid's not getting their time in the sun like they should. I mean, just recently since March, how many Bigfoot sightings have there been in Ohio? Like 6, 7? There were like 3 in 1 week. It made CNN for a hot minute, but then it disappeared. And you would think that we'd spend more time going, okay, something is going on here. People cite these all the time. That's been happening for hundreds of years. Why aren't we doing more to investigate it? There could be a whole nother type of creature on our planet that we don't know anything about, that we're just not spending time and energy to look for.
But this, and you know what? And you mentioned something that's very interesting to me. And I was just thinking about this, and I was talking to a friend of mine about it. And and he was like, is it possible that these people? We're gonna go off subject here for a minute. These people that came down and had these, got with the human women and had these giants, and he was like, is it possible these giants supposedly could these be the offspring of these giants? And I'm like, dude, that is a good damn question.
Right. They could actually be the giants because for all we know, over time, because we know humans have gotten taller over time, you know, over time these stories change and people's perceptions of it change when they talk about giants. If you go back to like Java Man and earlier iterations of humanity, the average height was much, much smaller. It was around 4 foot. So if you look
Hmm.
at like a Sasquatch at 7 foot, that's a giant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That,
so it's all perspective, and it's perspective that changes over time.
and we're not talking about over time. We're talking millions of years.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, OG, hey, can you picture OG, triple OG beard with not being shaved over the years? Can you imagine how thick that thing and how thick it would be over a million years?
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
I had a lengthy beard a few
He
years
did.
back
He
for
did.
quite some time. I grew it out for like 2 years. It ended up getting right down to just above my belly button.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell, I think
He
the
had a big
women
one
would
for a
love
while.
that.
Yeah, well, no, my wife did not. She was an absolute hater of the beard. I called it the wizard beard.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if you realize, Terry, but just so you understand, the three of us, we go back a long, long way. Owen is actually my brother-in-law.
Mhm.
So I'm married to his wife's older sister.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Well,
we've known each other for decades and decades and decades. And I went to high school with Stan, who's the one who looks like the Bigfoot in the image behind me. So yeah, people I've known my whole life. So
okay. Well, you guess who decided
yeah.
to pop in? Well, I thought
Yeah,
you
I
weren't
saw
gonna
it.
make it today, ma'am.
What?
I thought you said you weren't gonna come in.
Mhm.
I said I might pop in.
Oh, are you angry this morning?
Nah, I'm okay. I was listening to you
Okay.
guys.
Well, but yeah, but getting back to the paranormal part aspect of the podcast, guy, in your opinion, you know, in a short amount of time, we discussed so much. Uh, how do you think we need to handle this situation? I mean, sure enough that we can put as much information that we want out there. To me personally, if we've been putting information out since the 70s, and when when the internet came out, it really blew up, and it's blowing up now. But how? I mean, when is it? I mean, will that ever? I don't think it will ever be enough. I don't think that I just don't think society as a whole. Some of us will accept it, but the people that are most important to our cause would never accept for what we do and what we are. You guys
Right.
agree or disagree?
I agree. I agree. There is a large crowd of people that are not going to buy any of this, factual or not.
hmm
Right.
there's another thing you see when you see pictures of of spaceships. People go absolutely crazy, but when you show pictures of dead people, okay, I'll call them dead people. Still call them people. I don't call them spirits. Well, you see pictures of dead people are gonna cringe and say, "Ooh, that's not real," or "Ooh, that's creepy." And then they said, "Ooh, why are you showing those?" Like, and then you get hit by the religious community and says, "Oh, that's demonic," or "That's Satanism." And then you say, and then we're sitting there in the middle going, "What the f are you talking about?" Right? But yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
just it's you know what I'm saying, right?
See,
Yep.
So
yeah,
we
Yeah.
get pushed
you
back
know,
no matter what the heck we do and
Yeah.
where the heck we
you
are.
know,
It's just like
What is
that.
so demonic? I mean, what is so demonic
Right.
about someone trying to communicate with you from the other side?
Well, I
What is
get
so
called a
demonic about
demonic. I get called a Satanist. I get called a demonic. I get called whatever the name in the book that you have. And I said, "Oh, thank you. Well, wait until I come into your room tomorrow night."
it?
That's what I used to say.
Okay, something that can't be understood is
Yes.
why society does that? Why is society so quick to judge things that they cannot understand? Instead of evaluating it so they can understand it, they go right to judgment, to that judgmental stage, and just want to
Yeah.
be judgmental and just think the worst.
Fear.
Yeah, everything has to be made understandable for comprehension so that it's okay to rest in their mind.
Does it make them comfortable at night, not knowing what the hell is under their bed?
No.
I mean, when they fabricate their own stories, yeah, they're comfortable in bed.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's
But
right.
people that do things, I do things, I get cases, and people judge me for what I do. And I said, well, if the good Lord gave me these gifts, well, the good Lord told me that I should have these gifts. And then they said, oh, that's no, you're not supposed to be doing that. I said, why not? Why can't I do that? Why can't I help the the dead find peace? And they said, because you're not supposed to be doing that. I said, okay. Well, the good Lord
So,
was wrong then giving me these gifts, and so
well,
I
right.
shouldn't be doing that.
So who says that you can't? It's people.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
anything in a religious text, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing in
Yeah.
any Bible, Quran, any
No.
major religious text that says you can't
No.
use any ability to help bring rest
Yeah.
to a troubled spirit.
Yeah.
And we do this in life, or we should be doing this in life. We should all be trying to bring
Yeah.
rest to, bring the positivity to each other when we're
Mm.
living. Why
Yeah.
not pass that on if we think that this is real?
Plus, you know what?
And
When you say a prayer, aren't you putting your intentions in it, hoping that the good Lord will hear us? And aren't you
mm,
when
Yeah.
you start out with a prayer, you always say in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Uh-huh. Yes.
You hear me? Like,
Yes.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Religion is chock full of talking to dead people.
Yeah, yeah.
It
And
is.
when you talk to the Lord, isn't he supposed to be dead? Are we supposed to be not talking to the dead person?
Well, it's, and
Mm-mm.
if I don't want to offend anybody's
No,
religions,
no,
but
no.
yeah, absolutely. Belief is belief. And, I have a very different take on it. I believe in faith. I don't believe in religions of
No,
this earth. Okay.
no.
Because none of them are what they were when they started. But,
Yeah,
some of them just have this belief that, you know, people are extraordinary and get
yeah,
raised up. They may be called a saint, they may be
yeah,
called an ancestor, and
yeah,
people
yeah,
get comfort from talking to them,
yeah.
you know.
Believe me, I'm from the Catholic. I'm part of. I am, or I was. I don't care, but I'm still part of the Catholic faith. But I respect the religion, but they don't respect me. That's the
Mm.
part that I'm really upset about. And that I quit going to church, but I still do respect the Pope. I still do everything, but I don't go to church anymore because I was told you can't be doing what you're doing. I go, who says I can't? And they said, well, it's not holy. And I said, okay, okay, let me see. Okay, am I not holy? Like, okay, I can be as holy as I can.
Yeah.
well, this is a
But
question. Kevin on the chat has a question for you, and OG. I'm gonna let you answer this.
mm,
So, if ghosts are real, why do paranormal investigators mostly claim to contact people from centuries ago and rarely anyone who died with an iPhone in their pocket? Honestly, I don't know that that's always true. It
Right.
really depends where you're at and what kind of energy you're picking up on. Sometimes you do talk to those people that died with an iPhone in their pocket.
Right. Yeah. For instance, there's a place we go to in Royal Oak, Michigan, and we've gone there with another group on public investigations, and they've had communication with somebody that may have been around in the 70s or 80s. That was somebody was known to the community to be homeless and in the area. And they know what the person's name is, they know it's a real person, they know they died within a block or two of the house, and they think it's a transient spirit. So that's not somebody that's centuries old. That's an example of something that's not centuries old.
And what really kills me is, guys, Vincent. Something they don't care about stuff like that. Spirits, I mean, they really they don't care about it. They don't care because these guys are, man, they can do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want.
Yeah.
iPhones don't mean nothing to them. They can snap of a finger, they can zoom to Europe if they want. I mean, these guys are, dude, they got unlimited amount of energy, because if they are energy based like people say they are, what is the one thing that the universe is full of?
Energy.
Yeah.
And
Energy.
we all know from basic physics, you can't get rid of energy.
No.
It's either at a rest state or it's active, but it never goes away.
Never. Just stick your tongue in that battery, and that with a 9-volt battery, that sucker can be 9 years old. If you stick your tongue in there, I guarantee you'll get a small electric charge out of it. It might not be much, but you'll still get something out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Not that we advocate this, because some people might like it.
Yeah, some people might. But that's a great question, Kevin. Appreciate you asking that. Man, guys, I wish that people will understand what we do more often. Not just the religion aspect of it, because there's so many ways that we can look at this. And like Irene said, dude, we are in the Bible. Now, whether people believe it or not depends on what religion you are, but we are in the Bible. And I think that we're not going anywhere. I think the next generation of paranormal investigators are going to be the top dogs, because these are the guys that are going to have technology way more advanced than what we're ever going to have. So I think the next generation, if they are trained right, the sky's going to be the limit for these guys. But if they're not trained right and they do what they're doing now on social media, Kobe and all these guys that are screaming and yelling and doing all this other BS, it's not going to work. But if you take the time, educate yourself, like you said, B, and become knowledgeable, then things will be okay. All right, hold up. There's another one. All right, happy birthday, UK, with the most. Okay. This one you do, OG.
Hang on one second. Do UK investigators take the paranormal more seriously than US teams, or do American investigators produce stronger evidence?
I'm working with the UK team, and I have Terry knows him. I have a wizard who helps me with my work, and they do take things differently. There's less drama involved. They do produce some good evidence out there, and because their country's a little bit older, there's a little bit more nefarious things that happens there, and there's a little bit more scary things that happen there. And you got your variety of uh of TV programs you want. Whatever you got your horror, you got your slasher, and your your beheadings, and you got everything all mixture of all good stuff out there. So there is more evidence, and they do take their paranormal very seriously. And I'm part of their teams too, so I know, and I see a lot. I know when I see a lot more crazy stuff in the UK than in the US. Um, there is a lot more darker side of the paranormal in the UK than there is in the US. Um, it's just different. Okay.
Well, they tend to hang on to their buildings a lot longer than we do here in
Yeah.
this country.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
gives them a little bit more of that,
Yeah.
connection,
Yeah.
you
But
know.
they do a lot more different kind of work, and including preserving the buildings, yes, or abbeys, or whatever you call it in America, castles and stuff like that. But there is a lot more darker side of the paranormal in the UK, and they had a lot more stuff happening there than they do in America. And but then again, you still see that the when it comes to the war side, they do preserve it a lot better, and they
Mhm.
do create parks and places like that, and they do put memorials up there to for the people to educate themselves, to read, and to walk around, and to understand what happened to these people, um soldiers who passed away too. So there's a lot more stuff going on, and they do treat it differently than they do in America or anywhere else in the world. So yeah, they do. I don't know, it's just different. And
Well,
eh,
Yeah.
I can't help but wonder who pushes the BS more,
Oh,
U.S.
the
or the
U.S.
UK?
The U.S. does.
the
The,
US.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say that unequivocally, hands down, the U.S. has more people out there doing it
Hmm.
as a way to be generating income. So it's about
Yeah.
the sensationalism and not
Mm,
about the science and not about
yeah.
the research.
Yeah.
So you almost have to break that off from paranormal investigation because
Mm,
that's not paranormal investigation.
no.
Now, do
That's
you
a showmanship.
Yeah.
now do you
Or that's
think they
raking
have
in the money.
do you think they have as many TV shows? Because I don't see too many British paranormal TV shows
No,
on our
they
airwaves.
don't. No, I watch a lot of British TV and they don't have hardly any paranormal shows.
No.
Being real here on that topic, anytime you leave this country and go to another country, the television is always going to be very different than what we allow
Hmm.
here.
Yeah. Yes.
Can I just put a little step on that here? Okay. If you don't know, I'm living in Tokyo, Japan.
Mhm.
um we do have a lot of paranormal shows here. Okay. We do have we teach our children about paranormal at a very young age, as soon as they can walk and talk. There are some children's paranormal comics, okay, manga, we
Mm,
call them, out
yeah.
there, and they do teach their children about paranormal at a very young age. It could Some of it can be very frightening, but they do allow their children to watch it. Okay. There's no blood involved, okay, because you're not supposed to show blood. But they do show um them about what cryptids are about, what certain spirits are about, why they're there, and how they evolve. So they do expose their children more here than there. I don't think it would be acceptable to parents in America if they saw some of the cryptid shows that they have here in Japan. They do tell them to understand it listen to it, watch it, learn from it. But I don't think it would be. I don't think they would allow their children in America to watch them because it's very young. It's very young and it's very intense, and they do show a lot of crazy stuff going on with cryptids and how they react and why are they angry and what what eases them and what helps them
Hmm.
find create peace between the living and the dead. So as far as shows in America, I don't see any children watching anything about that until they are old enough to buy a, a comic book or from Japan or read a manga story from Japan like Death Note or anything like that.
Hmm.
That's one of the two. But it's just crazy how older children are learning about the paranormal in America when they finally reach out and be able to read a comic from Japan, and so they're doing that now at an older age when children here already done that in middle school. So it's
Wow.
I think it's a different society. It's a different way of learning, because they know our country's haunted. Okay, we have a very bad history about certain things that people did to others. Um, and instead of getting a divorce decree, it's easier to go and unalive your partner, right? Don't ask me, but that's how it is, right? To save face instead of giving out well, I'm going to divorce you and here's the papers. Instead of do that, just unalive your partner and hope to hell that that you can get married to another one later on, right? But yeah, that's what it is, and that's what it's all about. So I think we treat paranormal a little bit differently than you do. Um, it's more dangerous. There's more. It's you can't just go out willy-nilly going out to any haunted houses, hope to God you're gonna live tomorrow, because sometimes you won't and sometimes you will, and sometimes you'll be sick, and sometimes you'll find yourself in a box the next day. So that's why I pick and choose what my poison, whatever I want to do. But there are things that people say, oh, in America, I want to go to Okie Hunter Forest. I said, I ain't taking you there. No matter how much money you give me, you ain't going. Not with me around. It's on your own time, not on my time, because I'm not going to be responsible for what happens to you if you go in there and you can't come out, right? And then your parents are going to be saying, "What happened to my son? What happened to my daughters?" I said, "Well, they went into that forest. That's on them, not me." So it's just stuff like that. It's like I think we know it's respecting the dead more than investigating the dead, right? More than using like curious things out there. And if Terry wanted to go, I said, I'm not taking you there. There's no damn way you're not going to go. Not on my dime. And it's just things like that, right? I think being nosy can hurt you than learning. And I think in UK too, they know whether or not they should go there or not. And I was helping a person who was on a team who does this solely. He went into a church. He had to run out and then said, I'm never gonna go back again." And then I had to cleanse his body because he was feeling really after he came out. I said, and then my other friend who mentioned who's a wizard saying, well, I know the church you went into, and nope, you don't go in there, none whatsoever. Not even, not, don't be a friggin' hero, okay? But yeah, it's just knowing your limits and knowing you as a paranormal investigator, where you could go and where you can't go.
Yeah.
I think that's
Uh,
the thing. Go ahead,
yeah,
Terry.
that's, but she's talking about that forest. Guys, people don't talk about what we got, the forest that we have here in America.
No,
You
no.
know, they really don't, man. And to me, people are going there and won't come back.
Yep, yep, yep.
disappeared.
Yep.
I mean, what the hell? Starting from New Jersey all the way down to Arkansas.
Yeah.
It's
along
crazy.
the Appalachian.
Yeah.
Yeah, along the
Yeah,
Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot what that
but
forest in Arkansas.
yeah, I don't know which one that is.
But I think, but people still want to go there. They still want to investigate, and
But you
some of
know,
us saying, don't,
so
no, don't.
the way I look at it though is you can't be afraid to go somewhere because of the stories you've heard if you're really
Hmm.
looking for evidence, because that may be where the evidence is.
Yeah.
So it's a calculated risk if you're going to do it. And you have
Hmm.
to do it with your eyes wide open. It's
Hmm.
not about bravado,
Hmm.
it's about understanding the myths and the legends, the stories that people have told,
Hmm.
going in there, being prepared to go in there,
Hmm.
going in there with the right mindset. You
Hmm.
never should be going anywhere looking to provoke anyone or anything.
Hmm.
It's just a bad idea.
Yeah.
And if you don't feel safe, leave.
Yeah. If
Exactly.
you can leave, if you
If
can leave,
well,
right?
yeah, I've not been anywhere yet that I've not felt so unsafe that I couldn't leave. But
Yeah.
maybe there'll be a time. But I'm not gonna let somebody stop me from going somewhere if I have a passion to go gather some data there. If I think that there's something there worth understanding.
But you see, there's certain things that I will tell you, maybe not here, but the trees don't grow right. There's no bugs, there's no insect, there's
Oh
no
yeah,
there's no animal activity.
I've
Um
I've seen things like that, and it's creepy. It's
yeah,
very
it
creepy.
is. And then you might step on a dead body when you're in there. There are stuff that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah.
and
That forest in Japan's got a very bad reputation.
and
So
it's
that's
underneath
understandable.
it's underneath Mount Fuji, which is also
Right.
haunted because the volcano is a live volcano, and scientists die every time measuring the volcanic activity in the middle of the volcano. So there is 5 lakes underneath there that are black. It makes a great horror film, right?
Mm.
But there are stuff there that
But
no.
how much of that could be environmental though, and we just don't know because people are scared to go do more testing. So you go
Um.
into a forest like that, people go in there and never come out. Could it
Yeah.
be because something's going on with that volcano that's putting out some kind of a noxious fume
Yeah.
that suffocates them?
Yeah.
So there could be an explanation, but
Yeah.
people have to be willing and be prepared to go in there and measure for these different theories. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But it's true. But as far as we're concerned,
Huh. I knew
we're not
Kevin
going to
wasn't going to
take it.
really go to bed. I think he's too wrapped into this now.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Sorry,
know what?
Kevin, you're here for the night.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what? You can even people who have pitched a tent near Mount Fuji has seen some really weird stuff,
Right.
and yeah, it legends and whatever
Right.
does play a big part of it. But also when you go in the forest, your ears uh don't go right because you start hearing, you get vibrations and it really bugs your
Mm.
ears, and then you get headaches, and you don't feel good anymore. So there's a lot of that going on too, but I don't
Right.
know.
But
But
yeah,
i
but
thi- i think
again,
there's a lot of stuff going on that should be studied, but nobody wants to go there because they say no, we're not going there.
well, but back to Terry's earlier point, we're getting to that
Yeah.
spot
Yeah.
where technology is
Yeah.
becoming so good that
Hmm.
we could not send humans in there, but send
Yeah.
in
A robot.
rovers, drones,
Yeah.
and gather data on the environment. And again,
Yeah.
do it over time and
Yeah.
see, is there some real cause,
Hmm.
for this,
Yeah.
buzzing in your ears. That could be deep in the earth vibrations from magma moving around. We
Yeah.
know some people get sensitive to these things.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
All right.
Um, I get that. Terry, can I click on just a little different thing. When you
Sure.
guys were talking about aliens, okay, there's so much alien technology that's used here that you guys have never heard of, right? um we have learned how to make new organs here, and I kid you not, it's not shared in America. They know how to make certain parts of the bodies here, but they haven't learned how to make limbs yet. But they're going for a heart now because we do not have any donations. You cannot donate your liver, or you cannot donate. You can donate your liver with a live donation, but you cannot deliver. You cannot donate your kidney, or you cannot donate your heart, because the Buddhist faith, you can't touch the body at once it's dead. Um, and then you can't touch it for 24 hours after it's dead too. So they're
Mhm.
working on making a heart.
Right. They're making an organic heart using 3D printing methodologies.
Yeah,
So you know, yeah. So I see some of this stuff on the internet. I read some of this stuff.
yeah,
It, no, we don't do it here in the U.S.
no,
because we've got our own laws, rules around
yeah,
what we can and cannot do with
yeah.
FDA and everything like that. So,
And
but
even,
yeah, I mean it's great technology to have.
yeah. But it's funny because you can, if you want to get pregnant, right? As a husband and wife, you want a baby, okay? To, but you can choose which sex you want. You want a boy, you want a
Mhm.
girl. You can choose the sex of your baby. And when as the baby develops in the womb, it will come out as that sex
Yep,
here.
yeah, we can do that here too.
But it's really weird because they call it umiakeho here. It's called that, and there's no laws preventing this happening. So it's really crazy, crazy, crazy stuff that's happening here. And as far as operations are concerned, it's they don't make a big they don't cut you open that big either here. They only
Right,
cut you open as much as they need to cut open, and then you heal faster, and then it is
right.
better. So it's really crazy, 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 and the alien technology is more accepted here, and they have a lot more crazy things that are developing all the time. But uh, I wish they'd share it because they don't. I don't know why they don't. It's either being accepted or the pushback by the community of other countries. They should share it because you know what? People could benefit by it at all. And there's nobody here that's wearing a colostomy bag anymore.
Mm. Well, people don't accept change everywhere. So even if somebody offered it, there might
Yeah,
be places where they would say, nope, not for us,
yeah. But
which
Yeah.
it's
is
sad,
I
unfortunate.
because when you're talking about a patient, right? It could be you or me or Terry or anybody else who could benefit by it. Why not, right?
Right.
And
Well,
it's
we could benefit here in America just by having cheaper healthcare.
yeah, I know, but we have that here. We have that here too. We
Do
have
you?
that here too. We have cheaper health care here
Oh,
too.
we don't. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, if I go into see a doctor, I only pay $4 and 30 cents to see a
Oh,
doctor.
yeah, no, not me. My copay is, depending on the doctor, $35 to $60.
You see, and
And
then
if
if
it's
I
a
get my
hospital,
prescription,
all things are out.
and all my
I
prescriptions are only about 20 to 30 bucks a month.
Oh, jeez. See, that's so keep the printed organs and stuff. Send that healthcare here, please.
I know, right? I, but it's just different here, and I don't know why. But people say, "Oh, we want that in America," and they said, "Well, the companies wouldn't survive that." I said, "Oh yeah. Well,
Ah,
if you
fly a
want to have a
parent
company,
animal.
if you want to have a company, you got to provide healthcare for your all your employees, like every employee. Doesn't matter if you're in the service, uh, uh, um, wherever you're serving customers, or you're sitting in a desk. You have to provide healthcare for all your employees, No matter what it is, no matter what job it is, it's just that way. And then people say, that's not going to work in America. But, but people get higher wages here, right? The
Mhm.
wages are higher here. And yeah, but you wish, right? It's just different, I guess, here. And I think we care about our people better than there. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, I think there's a lot we could do here. I got to take a minute here and just redirect. I see our boys Flyer Paranormal joined in the chat. If you've
Mm,
not had them on the show, you need to think about having them on the show. These are the guys that actually really got us going into it. So mine and my buddy Stan's first experience with doing paranormal investigation was a public investigation that Flyer was hosting, and we've been hooked on Flyer ever since.
wow.
So yeah, these guys absolutely the best people you could ever want to know.
Yeah. John,
I
David,
think
Gio,
I've
those
had
guys
him
are
on the
great.
show before. I think I've had him on the show before many years ago.
Maybe. Well,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
getting a little big for their britches now. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Uh-oh, yikes.
Uh,
Can I ask you a really
you know
weird
where?
question? Can I ask you a really strange question? I know you like to go into places that's kind of like, but what would you find the most daunting place for you to investigate, and why? And
That's
share some stuff.
that's a great question. I don't know that there's anywhere on my list that I would be truly scared to death to go to at this point,
Mm-hmm.
other than maybe back to my grandmother's house. And
Oh,
that's
I
only
go.
well, that's only because when I was young,
Mm-hmm.
many years ago, dinosaurs roaming the earth, because I'm just an old man.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yep.
I lived with my grandmother for a while,
Mm-hmm.
I had to sleep in the upstairs in the house. And just a short back history on this is when I was very young, my grandfather died in that house. He died
Mm-hmm.
painting the stairs to the basement,
Mm-hmm.
and I never liked going in the basement after that. But we stayed there for a while, and my grandmother got sick. She ended up dying in the house. But the whole time that we stayed in that house, I was terrified to go to the upstairs of that house, and that's where I slept.
Oh
Hmm.
well.
I mean, some days my hair would all be standing up. I would
Mm,
feel like I was being watched. Other days it wasn't as bad, but that would be the one place I would probably be a little hesitant to go back, just because I had such a visceral reaction in my
Mm-hmm.
teens.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I've not been anywhere where I've felt uncomfortable. You know, I know everybody talks about, the Amityville Horror House,
Yeah.
or the what's that other house that was in the movies?
The
Oh,
Conjuring. The
yeah,
Conjuring House.
yeah, it's the Conjuring House. Thank you. You know, I would go spend some time there because
Yeah.
of my curiosity, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
be afraid to do it. I would want to see for myself, experience
Mm-hmm.
for myself.
Yeah. I.
To be honest with you, go ahead, Irene.
You know, I'd love to visit some of these places, but you got to have a good deep pocket if you're going to go anywhere, right?
Yes, yes, you do.
Yeah. And I'm the type of person that, as much as these houses sounds intriguing, me personally, I could never go to a house Hollywood made famous.
Well, right. At that point, you have to wonder how much of that is now
Yeah.
fake. So if I were to
I
go
mean,
to a house
because
like that, I'd want to stay for like days so I could
Yeah.
I want to stay
investigate.
for
Have they rigged anything? You know,
I want to stay for
you
a
know,
month.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
want time to know if it's real or not. But
You know,
yeah, I mean,
make sure that, because on a short period of time, your mind doesn't have time to set. If you
Mm-hmm.
stay
right.
there for a long period of time, your mind have the time to set and to adjust
Mm-hmm.
towards your
Exactly.
surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
So, being there 1, maybe 2 days is not good enough. I mean,
No.
being there a month, your mind would have set and adjust, and your mind would configure to the way that it should. And You know,
Mm-hmm.
so you start seeing things and hearing things that you
Hmm.
know, because when you get there, you're expecting to hear and to see things. But if
Right.
it just happened to come out of nowhere when you're walking in, all right, what the hell was that?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Right.
You
That
know?
that that initial visit is like a pre-seed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got it in your head, right? You put it in your head before you go there, and you expect that to happen in your head when you get there, and then you say, "What the hell?" Right?
Well, all the sounds are new, all the smells are new, all the
Yeah.
experiences
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
new. So they're
Yeah.
all unexpected. But if you're there for a week, you get used to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hmm.
Good
and you
point,
find
John.
out
Good point.
what's real, what's not
Yeah.
real. What do you think about paying to play?
Oh, like the public investigations, or are you talking about paying to get into some of these places, even as
Paying
a
to get into some of these places.
I'm fine with that. They cost money to upkeep. So,
True.
I'm fine with that. Where I get upset with it is if they start getting really outrageous,
Yeah.
just because they have a name in the community. Try to
Mm-hmm.
keep it affordable because some of us are out here not trying to get a thrill,
Mm-hmm.
not trying to make a scary video to post on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube or
Mm-hmm.
TikTok for likes. Some of
Mm-hmm.
us are out here wanting to spend some time really trying to understand what you got.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
You
know?
know, this is crazy. Is it possible? And I'm just gonna throw this out here, guys. Is it possible the reason why we have not got the notoriety of what we do is because of what we do? If that makes any sense to y'all?
I think that's part of it. There's so much just s- stuff floating around that's obviously sensationalized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People see it and they think of it in terms of a Hollywood production.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes away from the people that are out there, like all of us, trying to
Mm-hmm.
find answers, trying to get that understanding, trying to
Mm-hmm.
do maybe some real science behind it,
Mm-hmm.
and expand the scope of knowledge that we're all hungry for.
Yeah.
So that's hard. That's very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Agree with you totally, Flyer.
I can never understand anybody who wanted to pay to play because here all you need to do is like about $4 and you can get into the place. You can investigate. No one's gonna bug you, right? You got
Yeah.
temples that are haunted. Like you got temples that are haunted. You got
Well,
places where they have a big Buddha. It's really haunted because somebody was unalive there, and so they put a Buddha there to appease the gods. So
yes.
it's all friggin' haunted, right? No matter where you go,
Yeah.
it's haunted. Okay, like every
Well,
damn temple here is all haunted. Okay, like
the whole world is haunted because
yeah, I know.
people have been dying for how long now?
Yeah, billions of
So
years, right?
right. Yeah.
And we
So
ain't the first ones, right?
right.
It's so crazy that I could never imagine to play. Um, I just have to go up my front door and I can show you places haunted. Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's just
but it's about going to the places where people are saying that they're having the experiences because
yeah,
you want to validate,
yeah,
are they really, or is it all imagination? Is it something physical going on that just
yeah,
needs to be corrected? Because
yeah,
you think about it, some of these people
mm-hmm,
are reaching out and asking because they truly want help,
yeah,
because they're
yeah,
scared,
yeah,
and if we're true to what we're talking about and doing the
yeah,
science, it's really to help them to
yeah,
to do our investigation and help them figure out what it is.
yeah,
It could be as simple as they're experiencing some things because they've got knob and tube in the walls and they don't know it. And
mm,
so their EMF is going crazy
mm-hmm,
and they're seeing lights go on and off because there's maybe short circuits going on.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's all about helping people understand.
I was on the
and I
other
can't
side.
help
I
but
was on that
yeah,
side. I was on the needed to. I was on the help, um, wanting some help, but nobody could help me. That's why I'm here doing this as my work now. So I understand
right.
how they feel because I cried because I needed help, and it was so bad that like what the heck am I doing? Like who am I reaching out to? And nobody could help me. So I said, okay, time to pack up and leave. So we all packed up and we all left. We all moved out. But it's just when you're on the other side getting help, nobody can help you. You feel the energy and you feel the sadness and you
Right.
feel the pain that nobody could help you because you live so far away on
Yep.
down east, and
Yep.
it's the
First
most
city. Yeah. First city's
horrible
got it
feeling.
right. It could be fluorescent lighting setting your meter off. You
Yeah.
know, first thing I like to do if I'm in a brand new place is I get out that EMF meter and I wander around. I want to know
Mm,
what normal is,
yeah.
and then go back and hit these places overnight, over time,
Hmm.
you know, and see if it's changing.
You know, I can't help but, I can't help but think, man, how big is psychology
Yeah.
is being played into
Hmm.
all of this. Not
Well,
Yeah.
just
exactly.
psychology, not just psychology, but what about reverse psychology? Who's to
Yeah.
say that these guys, OG, triple OG, hey, maybe you can answer this question for me. Who's to say that, that reverse psychology is not happening on our end? Who
Yeah.
said that these guys aren't doing it on our end?
Yeah.
Honestly,
I mean,
Terry, I'm not convinced that there isn't a true multiverse. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm.
Right.
So,
that would be
yeah, no, I mean,
interesting.
I could see what you mean as far as reverse psychology. Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, and there's no real way for me to tell.
No.
Well,
You know?
so my daughter got her bachelor's in neuropsychology, and we talk
Hmm.
about this stuff a lot, which
Hmm.
is why I talk about, you know, um, wanting to like even put like a neural reader on while I'm in doing an investigation to
Hmm.
track like brainwave activity and things like that,
Hmm. Hmm.
because we have five senses. Okay, we have five senses, and our brain is trying to interpret that, and our brain does not do a perfect job. So our brain is not like an AI computer. Our brain is basically lazy.
Yeah.
So it gets a bunch of data in, it kind of skims the data, and if it doesn't understand something, it wants to fill the gap in. So if you
Yeah.
see something, it's because you got some vision in there that your brain couldn't interpret or didn't want to interpret
Hmm.
because there's too much going on, and your
Hmm.
brain fills the gap in. So maybe you see a silhouette where there's not a silhouette.
Yeah.
Maybe you see a ghost bubble where there's not a ghost bubble. Same with your hearing. You may hear something that's not really there because your brain didn't know how to interpret what you did hear. So it goes, well, that's close to a footstep.
Hmm.
I'm going to register it as a footstep, but it's really
Hmm.
something else.
Hmm.
So there's a lot going on for us from a scientific standpoint that we can be trying to understand. And even to what Owen's talking about with the multiverse, if you think about it, we don't know half of what goes on, you know, in the universe itself. And
Hmm.
are we really hearing echoes from some other alternate reality that's happening at the same time? Is it like,
Hmm.
I guess in Stephen King terms, because I'm sure everybody here has probably read Stephen King, a thinny. Is it a place? Are we in a place where, or a spot where, for a period of time, we're hearing echoes of something that's happening somewhere else in another
Hmm.
alternate here?
Hmm.
We don't know, but we could try
Yeah.
to measure it.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody's probably asleep by now on the podcast.
No, we're awake. I'm awake. It's morning here, okay? So it's
Yes,
it's
yes,
about 10 o'clock
Flyer.
in the morning
Yeah,
here.
yes, Flyer, all happening at the same time, maybe.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
about it as possibilities. Maybe we're sitting down in the Star House,
Hmm.
and I turn around and knock a picture down upstairs, but in a different reality, I'm walking across the floor and you hear those footsteps.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. I'm
Yes.
curious to know about that one.
It's funny
Let's
when you
see.
say that because for us, if you hear it, it's real. Do not deny it. Don't
Right.
don't don't uh don't second guess yourself. Because you hear it for a reason, because you're supposed to hear it, okay?
Well,
You see it for
See,
a
but
reason, because you're supposed to see it.
you
see,
hear
but
it
that's
because
the
you
but
think
see,
you
but
heard it.
that's the problem. A lot of
Right.
people plays. A lot of people hear things but second guess it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, but
You
that's why we
know,
gather evidence, though, because could it really be
Yeah.
a footstep that you heard,
Yeah.
or could it really be somebody else, something else that you interpreted as a footstep?
Yeah.
So that's where you get it. That's where the psychology that you were talking about, Terry, really comes into this.
Mm-hmm.
There's things like groupthink. Once one person says it, everybody starts to think that they heard it too. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where you have to be able to go back to a video or a recording,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to have a skeptic's mind. you know
Yeah.
yeah, first city, you're right, debunking's the key. You have to start from there. Did we really experience this? How can we prove it? If you can't prove it, you have to chalk it up as this is now unknown. this is
Yeah.
one of our this is one of our this could be the real deal you
But
see,
know
from
but you
my
know what?
side, but from my side, I don't care if you can hear it. I don't care if you can't see it, because I can't. It's not my responsibility to show you what I heard and what I saw. Okay,
right.
it's not my. It's not. If you can't hear it, that's fine. If you can't hear it, that's fine. If you don't believe me, that's fine. I don't give a rat's ass if you do or don't believe me or hear me. Because this is what I know. I've been doing this for a little while now. And Terry calls me a REM pod, okay? A human REM pod, okay? So that's what I am. And if it's not up to me, and that's where equipment comes in, is to validate from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing, is for you to validate, to help you see and hear what I hear, but I
Well, it's
don't.
for me too, though. So for
Yeah.
me, even if
Yeah.
I see something I can't understand, I want to
Yeah.
validate it. A
Yeah.
great example is we were with Flyer Paranormal at Star House in Royal Oak. Yeah, shout out to the Star House in Royal Oak. You know we go there. We go there a fair amount with them. We were
Mhm.
standing in a room, and John got up because he thought he saw something and wanted to see if it was really just lights in the window
Mhm.
or if it was actually something while we were in the upstairs with a group of
Mhm.
people. And he went to step out of the room that we were in
Mhm.
and into the hallway. When he
Mhm.
moved into the hallway, this closet door that was clearly latched closed
Mhm.
popped open in front
Yep.
of all of us. So I experienced the same thing as everybody else in the room.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the first thing I wanted to do is let's relatch the door. Let's make sure that it didn't
Mhm.
pop open on its own because people were
Yeah.
walking, people
Yeah.
were moving. It wasn't, does it latch firmly? Or is it one of those doors where it only kind of latches and it's going to pop open if
Mhm.
the air pressure changes?
Mhm.
So it's not really because I want to believe you. It's I want to
No.
believe myself too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to trust, I want to
You're
trust
a
my
skeptic of
experience.
you're your own skeptic of your own self, right? So
Right.
so I get that.
Yeah.
But
That's
there's
a healthy way
like,
to live.
yeah, but words, right? I can get a full blown conversation with any spirit, okay? And they will sit down and I'll say, okay, Terry, let's sit down, let's talk to them. And then the first thing that comes out of there would be, fuck off. Like, fuck you. I go, okay. And Terry's, okay, we're going. I said, no, 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 no. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk to this guy. Terry goes, you sure? I go, yep, yep, yep. Because that's not going to make me leave. Because that's the last thing I'll do is leave with somebody, if a spirit tells me,
Right.
or if a,
Right.
I call it dead. Okay, if a dead person tells me to f off, so I said, no, we're not gonna go. You're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk. And Terry goes, you sure about this? I go, hell yeah. But it's not
Right.
always that benevolent spirit that's gonna tell you to f off. It could be that regular spirit who doesn't like talking to people because it's been told, what's your name? How long have you died? What are you doing here? Like, no, like, No. We're gonna do it differently. And the thing is that when I'm doing things differently, I don't care about how long they live. I don't care about their names. I don't care about how long they die. I don't care about what how they died. It's just putting in a friggin' conversation, a proper conversation where you can talk to this person who has passed and have a regular conversation. Sooner or later, they're gonna tell you their name anyways. So, and they're gonna tell you how they died anyways. So
Right.
it's all about learning how
Right.
learning about that person. I still call it a person because I don't think they're not really
Mm,
dead anyways. It's just
well,
learning about that person anyways. And
being dead doesn't make you any less a person in my
no,
eyes
no, no,
either.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I
you're
always
just
say
you're just not
I
with
always
me
say it's a
anymore where I
person
can
that
pat you on the
people say,
back.
huh? What? I mean, you're talking about somebody they say,
Oh,
yeah, but it's still a person. Like they're still there, not maybe not in physical form, but they're still there in energy form, so I
Right.
still call them a person. And people
Right.
say, okay, you're
Yeah,
different. I
they
and
go,
and
hey,
and paranormal
they
triage is absolutely right with their comment about
yeah,
we do have to be able to accept things could be explainable and unexplainable.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
so Owen and I both came into this as 100% skeptics. It's our boy Stan who is the true believer. Okay,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
all into this,
yeah,
you know. And I'll admit that over time I've had some stuff happen I can't explain.
yeah, yeah,
It's just a thing. And really,
Same.
our last EVP session, I was flabbergasted at what Owen went through on our
Yeah,
yeah,
last
same.
EVP session. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And sometimes uh people freak out because I said, is that person wearing a blah 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 and that kind of clothes, and that person has such and such a hair and such a body and such a height and has facial hair or not, or blonde or whatever, and people say, how do you know that? Well, because it's sitting right here, right? Or it's sitting right here in front of me, or it's sitting right here. And they go, they freak out because, are you for real? I go, yeah. And they go, well, and they said, well, that person's saying blah 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 blah, and that person used to like have a cigar out his hanging out of his mouth, or whatever, right? They go, huh? How do you know about Grandpa? I said, well, let's tell the audience, okay? I don't know you. You don't know me. We just met, and so yeah, this is what we're talking about. And they said, yep. I don't know you, and have I ever messaged you? Nope. Have I ever talked to you? Nope. So I'm showing evidence out there for the public saying that I don't know you, you don't know me, and this is what I saw. And I
Hmm.
said, and then that's what makes them believe it. But there are people who don't believe it, and there are skeptics out there, and yeah. So it's just it's a way for me to prove that person who I'm talking to knows that I don't know you, you don't know me. We're doing it for we're saying it in public, and we're talking about what that person looks like, what that person likes to say, used to like to say, and sometimes I bring it in my voice what that person said, and they're saying, "Wow." And then they go, "Hey, mom, this is this," and so they're bringing their relatives, and they're saying, "She just said what Grandpa used to say," and I said, well, and then I start laughing, and they go, "Ooh, okay, that's creepy."
that's
But
yeah.
it's part of my job. It's part of my job, and I freelance it, and I don't really I'm not really I'm devoted to this podcast, yeah, but I'm still freelancing what I do, and
Hmm.
people get blown away. But what you see is what you see, and why you see it is because you're supposed to see it, and you're supposed to know, and you're supposed to hear it, because that message is just for you.
Hmm. If
Okay.
people hear it, if people heard it more often,
Mm,
would they be more open to the possibility?
I think so.
yeah,
You
I
know,
think so.
I don't know, B, because it's right there in their face. They can get
yeah,
slapped with it, and they still think that was the wind.
Mm,
I
Or
have
they'll
to
run,
assume that's a
or
big piece
they'll
of public
hightail it
art.
out there, Terry. They'll hightail it out there, and they'll say, "Whoa, that was too creepy," and I'm gone. Right?
right. Embrace the creepiness and stick around a little longer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know.
you might find it interesting, right?
Right.
Like
yeah.
if everyone's running out, Terry and I will probably, hey, what? Okay, let's go. Like we'll be probably going in there. Go, okay,
Well,
what's there? Let's find out. Okay, there's
so
got to be a reason
This
why.
is what's
so
so this is
go
what's
ahead.
so crazy about this is what's so crazy about the everyday person that you don't talk to, you walk by every day. This is just an average person.
Yeah.
Don't they know every aspect of their life?
Mhm.
There's something creepy going on.
Mhm.
Every aspect of their life. Even
Hmm.
they're doing a double take. They have deja vu. They're doing a double take. You know,
Right.
it's just so much that these people are logically, oh, I don't deal with that, but you're dealing with it at every part of your life.
Yeah.
How can you not? I don't know. I don't know anybody who does not have a paranormal episode in their life. If they do,
Mm,
if they don't, they're not normal.
yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody has.
they're either ignoring it because they wanted to assign it to something else because that makes them
Mhm.
feel comfortable, you
Mhm.
know, or they're just so out of tune with themselves they're oblivious to it happening.
And it's been happening since, guys, it's been happening since the day they were born. What
Yeah.
is the one thing? What is the one thing that you was told not to do when you was a child? Don't sleep with your feet hanging outside of the bed, on the edge of the bed, or
Yeah.
they're gonna grab it. Oh,
I got the
another
short bed.
thing is,
I got the short bed. I didn't have a choice.
Or
yeah,
another thing,
another
don't
thing,
sleep with the closet door open. Always close the closet door.
Right.
Always turn out
Yeah.
the lights in the closet. Always
always
close.
something.
Check
And the,
under the
and,
bed
and
at
the
night.
most,
Make sure there's nobody there. Yeah.
And
yeah,
close the
and
curtains.
that's the most
When you go to
obvious
bed,
thing.
close the curtains. Make sure the curtains aren't open. Make sure the window's not open. But sometimes it's so damn hot, you have to leave the window, but close the curtains right when you do it,
But you
right?
know what?
Right.
Eh,
Some of the things that people do that welcomed in spirits, they don't even know.
yeah.
Like when you, okay, you know what? And this is what thing that kills me, guys. When you're waving, who are you waving to? When you just, hey, waving, you waving at somebody, and they're not waving back, but the person in back of them that you can't see sees you, and they think that you're waving at them, and that's an invitation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, another example. Another example. When you got that big welcome mat on the front of your door, it doesn't say welcome. It says welcome to everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't say
Good.
any specific person, does it? It
Good thing
says
mine says
well.
good. Good thing mine says go away.
You know,
It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't discriminate. Paranormal is one thing. It doesn't discriminate who, what, how much money you have, how less money you have. It doesn't discriminate the person, or it doesn't discriminate the environment, or it doesn't discriminate the sex, or it doesn't discriminate what nationality you have. It's
Mm,
all right.
everywhere, and it happens to. And
right.
I bet not. I bet it happened to every single one of us. But some of us are willing to talk about it more than others, and some of us are willing to
Yeah.
acknowledge it more
Quick,
than others.
hey, quick shout out. What's up, Ghostly Ram? Ghostly Ram is watching on TikTok. How you guys doing today?
Nice.
Appreciate you in the
Yeah.
live, man. Thanks.
Nice.
Ghostly
Nice.
Ram. I've had those guys
Multi-platform.
on my
Love that.
But
Nice.
it's a part. It's part of everyday. I think paranormal is a part of everybody's life, everybody's day, everybody's society, and it's part of living as well as part of dying.
Well,
And it's part of everything. It's how we live, how we lived, how we died, how we, everything is part. It's part of us now. The realm is a lot thinner than it was before. Um, so you'll find that you'll see more of the apparitions of spirits than you will be than you have before. So the veil is extremely thin, and you will see a lot more. Even when you're not willing to see it, it's there. It'll always be there. And
But
the thing is, and the more we
can I ask you
acknowledge it,
guys, can
yeah.
I ask you guys a question? Well,
Mhm.
hey, appreciate it, Ghostly Round. Irene mentioned something just now. Do you think that the veil is thinner now because all the death that we're having that's going on in society?
I don't think
Or
that
do
that's
you
really
or
got a
do you
lot to do
think
with it.
or do
Yeah.
you think the veil has always been thin because people were dying more back then than they are dying now?
Mhm. That's
It goes
fact.
it goes in cycles though. So, I don't think that the veil as a whole, if you look at it as some kind of a barrier, maybe an energy barrier, barrier between whatever. Okay. I don't think as a whole it all gets thin or it all gets thick or whatever. What I think, what I think is maybe there's points along the veil where it gets a little thinner at times because there's not as much energy in that
Or do
area,
you
or there's
think
too
or do
much
you
energy in that area.
or do you think the veil is thin whenever there is chaos in the world? When there's something big like a world war or some kind of mass atrocity?
Like an illness, let's say, okay, the reason why I say that because the COVID has happened, people are spending more time at home than they were outside, and they're starting to realize that their house could be haunted
Mhm.
or something, or there was a lot of deaths during COVID too in every single country you can think of. So it's just when happenings happen in the world where it affects people, things come out more. Uh, you see more, you feel more, and you're finding that I can't open up that bedroom door anymore, or I can't walk into that kitchen anymore, or I can't even take a bath anymore without having somebody stalk me or look at me or seeing these eyeballs in the mirror. Like it's just happening more now. People become more aware of it now than they did before, because before you were outside, you never came home till later at night, and then when you had to spend more time at home, all of a sudden you're seeing Uncle John in the mirror, or he's in your bedroom looking at you, going, hey, and then he's telling you something. You go, whoa, what the heck was that? You're rubbing your eyes. Am I seeing that? And it's freaking people out, I think, a lot more than it was before.
You know what? I don't mind Uncle Johnny hanging out with me at night, when he comes to visit.
Right.
See, the thing is, guys, people have, and I don't think, and I might be wrong with this. People sometimes, if they know it's family, why is it such a double standard? They know that
Right.
their family is deceased and they know that they come visit them, but they not as scared. But yet they are scared of of ghosts and spirits, if that makes sense to you. So they are
Yeah.
afraid of spirits that they don't know, but they are afraid of spirits that they do know.
Yeah.
I don't understand
But
that.
but that's the core of it. It's they don't know.
Yeah.
So if they perceive it to be Uncle Jimmy, you know, uh
Mm-hmm.
it's one thing because they have a warm, close family relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't know who's making those footsteps,
Mm-hmm.
or they don't know who's popping open that cabinet door, for all they
Mm-hmm.
know, it is family, and they
Mm-hmm.
just
But here's the
haven't
thing.
got. Yeah,
But here's the thing, B. If these spirits, if you're home, I mean, I say, let's play this. If you at work, you come home, dinner's cooked, food on the table, everything's good, and the person that made it is your grandmother. Would you still be scared then?
No. My grandma was a good cook. I'd be
But you
happy.
see, the regular Joe Blow might be frightened, right?
Right.
The regular
Oh
Joe
my
Blow
God.
might be scared because
Well,
they don't know what the heck. I just buried
what I,
grandma and she's here in my
yeah.
living room. What the
Would,
hell,
would I
right?
be would I be freaked out because my grandma's been gone for decades and decades and decades?
Mm,
Yes, I'd be freaked out. Would I scream and run away from her? No, I'd want to
no.
sit and talk with her. There are things that I never got to say to her, and I would
Yeah.
see that as my opportunity. So I'd
Yeah.
be all about, let's sit at the table, grandma, and let's have a chat.
Yeah. But yeah, because you're okay. But the regular person will not be so inviting as you will be, right? Because
Well, I
they
won't
don't
know
know
if I'll be
what
that
the
inviting unless it absolutely happens. But yeah,
yeah,
I
it
mean,
Well,
it's
you know
again,
what?
it's the
If it's the
unknown.
hey, if it's the right food, I'm all arms. I'm open arms to it. If it's the right
Yeah, I
Right?
mean,
food, I mean,
that's
you
right.
got to come with some mashed potatoes and gravy, some meatloaf, some corn, and some
Fucking
green beans.
meatloaf? Hell
Hey,
yeah.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
good.
yeah.
yeah.
Let's
And I
get
mean,
it.
hey,
You all know that dead grandma can't cook for you.
well,
Jesus
who said they
Murphy,
can't?
okay,
Wait,
Terry?
wait, wait. Hold up. No, that's not true. Because if they can open up doors, they can do things now. I don't want to
Yeah.
get it twisted. Don't never think these guys.
Terry.
Who's to say that they can't?
We need to talk after the
Seen
show,
spirits.
okay?
Hey, I've seen spirits. I've seen spirits drive cars. I've
They
seen dead
can.
spirits drive cars.
Mm,
Police have chased these guys, and the car pulls up. They pull up. The car stops and pulls up, and there's no way that that guy could have got out because they're literally on his chest.
yeah.
The cop pulls up. Ain't nobody in the car.
Yeah.
If they can do that, I know damn well they can cook some meatloaf.
Mhm.
Terry.
Get some
I
of
Not
know
my
damn
really.
grandma.
well they can
Get
cook
some of
some.
my grandma's ham and potatoes and some bangers. Oh yes.
But
Man,
yeah.
you know, the thing is, we're only on the tip of the iceberg
Yeah.
on what these guys can do. We
Mhm.
really don't know what kind of power these guys really have. If they
Well,
choose to manifest themselves and show themselves, they would
Mm,
do that.
but do
You
they
know, these
always
guys
have the
can come
power
in
to
here.
manifest? Yeah. So that's the question too: is if these are really manifestations of
mhm,
energy of people past,
mhm,
how do they do it? How do they do it? How much energy do they really have? And where is that upper limit? I mean, you're talking about grandma coming back and cooking dinner. Is it a possibility? I'd have to say in the bell curve, there's a
mhm.
possibility for that. It's not
But
it's not total improbability, but
but
you know
but here's the
we
thing.
we don't understand yet is how much
Yeah,
do they know and how much can they do?
Yeah, and how
exactly.
much energy it takes to even manifest themselves. Because I know it takes a lot of energy to manifest yourself. It takes a lot of energy to
And
talk
how
to
do
you
they
too.
manage? How do they manipulate your dreams? That is mind blowing. How do they
Hmm.
manipulate your dreams? How do
Yeah.
spirits come in your dreams and tell you things? And
Hmm.
I mean, you're talking to them as clear as day.
Hmm.
How is
Well,
this
I
even?
mean, all that can run back to what OG was talking about, though. With is that really an aspect of a multiverse? I mean, how often do we have dreams where we see ourselves living a different life,
Yeah.
talking to people we don't know, or talking to people we know,
Hmm.
doing things in places we've never been? We
Hmm.
dream about it.
Yeah.
What's to say we're not kind of peeking into a different reality where
Hmm.
that's really happening?
Or a
And in that
realm,
dream, yeah.
or a
So,
realm
right.
that
Who's
occupies that place, that time in that period where
right?
you were or where you are right now, right?
Right. Who's to say there's not one consciousness that we have that extends across all these different possible tomorrows, todays, and all the possible yesterdays that could have happened. And at certain times, we get a peek through our other set of eyes.
Yeah. People get
Yeah,
amazed.
Oh
Like,
yeah. So yeah, paranormal triage there. I
Yeah.
still have dreams where I'm talking to my buddy Jimmy, who passed away about 10 years ago.
mm-hmm.
Man was closer to me than blood. And
Yeah.
he passed away suddenly. I still have dreams where it's vivid and I remember him the next morning and I remember what he said.
Yeah.
You know.
that's some powerful
You know,
stuff, dude.
you know,
It's very
is.
powerful.
it's really weird. It's really crazy. People ask me, "How can you walk in my house and you're sitting there?" I said, "Oh, I can." And they said, "You know what? I just saw you walk in my house." I go, "Oh, really?" And they go, "Mm-hmm." And they go, "What were you looking for?" "Oh, I don't know. I'm just walking your house." But they
Well,
don't know why and how I do it. And I still say, "I don't know. I just can't do it." Right? I can
well,
go in your
you
house
walk.
today and I can walk in there and I can see what you got. I can see what furniture you have. I can see who's in your home. I can see what's in your home. I can tell you what how many children you have, um what are they doing, and then what else is nefarious in your home. But
Well, I'll tell
I
you
get
what.
questions like,
You walk in my house. You know the first thing I'm gonna. If I see you, you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hand you that grocery list. Go to the grocery
Terry,
store. There
I've
you
walked
go.
in your house so many times,
Oh,
you know that, right? I've
here.
walked in your
And when
house
you
so
get
many
back,
times.
and make sure you put the milk in the refrigerator. Don't leave it on the counter this time.
Oh,
Mm, mm, mm,
jeez,
mm, mm.
Terry. I've walked in your house so many times sitting here. You know it.
You walk in my
Yeah,
house, Terry, you better be bringing some of that Texas OG barbecue.
oh man, no.
You know the stuff they make down in Austin at that one place. Yeah.
What place you talking about? Talk to me,
The tenderism.
Yes, yes.
dude. We're gonna get off topic here for a minute.
Oh, shoot.
The one thing that I've learned about Texas barbecue is never, ever, 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 right, OG? Go to the big spots because they don't always do the best barbecue. You always want to hit the hole in the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Hole
Where
in
they're
the
still
walls
love
are the
where they're
ones
still loving the
that
meat.
will,
Yeah, where they're still loving that meat every day.
yeah.
yeah. You go
Absolutely.
to Franklin's and Blacks and Crites and Lockhart, dude. The ones in Elgin, the only thing they're doing is only thing they're taking is your money. You're not gonna get the
Mm.
quality that you want. You might
Mhm.
get quantity, but you're not gonna get the quality.
Mhm.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying? So,
I'd go there if I knew Franklin was actually cooking it that day.
well, but you know who's cooking it? Hey
Yeah,
man,
it's
hey,
a staff. It's a staff, I know.
it's the brother that been there for 40 years that's cooking it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Half these people are in the shadows that don't get the recognition.
Right.
yeah,
Kind of like us
You know,
paranormal folk.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. We will never ever get the recognition we would deserve.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's what and before we even end this discussion, I think guys might disagree with me. I think we just got too many people that's bringing up evidence. I think we need to be unified as one. Have one
Hmm.
individual present the findings to the community, the scientific community, because we got too many people coming from two different angles
Mm-hmm.
But
that are
Terry,
coming at these
I'd be
guys.
locked up.
They don't
I'd
know
be
what's
locked
what.
up in a. I'd be locked up in a funny house if I
I
did
think
that.
we
You
need.
know that.
I think we need one.
So,
I think we need one
well,
unified front, present it to the science world, and then let them decide from there.
Right.
Because if you
So,
got too
so
many
we need
people
an
coming at
organization.
one time, it's never going to be right.
Yeah, we
I'd
need
be
like a
locked up in the state
national.
hospital if I did that.
Yeah, we need a national or a global organization that gathers all this evidence from the paranormal researchers that are out there doing the hard legwork, you know, and put some technology against it, make it available for people to look at, not edited. You know, I'm a firm believer in dropping raw footage out there. You know, so we don't have much on our YouTube page because basically I'm overworked, underpaid, and lazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So
I
the
think
first,
I'm the same way. You know
yeah.
what? I love to charge for every session that I do, but I don't. And I said to my friend, I said, would we be millionaires if we charged for every time we help somebody with their hauntings, and every time we help somebody with their attachments? Wouldn't we be billionaires? They said, yeah, we
Mhm.
would be billionaires because you know what? We charge $100 a pop for every time we had to help somebody cleanse or get rid of the D out of their homes, right? Damn, I'd be billionaires by now. I said, yeah, but we're not. We're just scraping here. We're scraping here and struggling here. And I wouldn't be doing what I'd be doing now, you know that? I'll be going on vacation wherever, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but
But
I'm still here and I'm still working my butt off and I'm still exhausted and I'm still crawling on the floor and go, help me, oh God. Like I need a vacation, or I need help, or I'm just so exhausted I have to do this next one next time and you got appointments up to the hill because nobody else can do it and it's just you know.
yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. We need to get raw data somewhere
Mm,
where everybody can look at it. Maybe we
yeah.
put some AI against it, you know, to help us sort through it because oh my God, that is time consuming. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know. So let's put some AI against it. Let's take some human bias out of it,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and let AI do some analysis on images,
Yeah.
videos,
Yeah.
recordings, you know,
Yeah.
and see
See,
what something that's totally non-passionate finds that we may have missed or
right?
debunks that we may have thought was real.
And that's the problem. Because a lot of people think AI is going to hurt us as a
No.
community. But if,
It's a
like you
tool.
say, B, if you use it correctly as a correct
Yeah.
tool,
Mhm.
it can help us.
Yeah. Everything is
Absolutely.
just a tool. It's like equipment. Everything is just a tool. It's just how you use it makes the difference all in the world.
That's
A
right.
tool can
You know,
only be a tool. Yeah. It's not there to
I'm
harm
one
you.
of
It's
those
not there to
guys,
do anything.
and I'm one of those guys that use AI frequently because it helps
I
me
use
with
it. I use it every
advertising.
day. I use it every day as part of my job now.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we just got to make sure we don't need the next John Connor running around here, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I welcome our machine
Connor!
overlords in case they're listening right
Yeah,
now.
we don't need. Hey, if I get somebody on the show and they tell me their name is John Connor, I am getting the hell up out of here. You know, he's the leader of the resistance. It's time for me to
That's
go
right.
because I already know what. Hey, I already know how that story plays. But guys,
Mm-hmm.
we're going on an hour and 52 minutes, man.
I know it's been a long one.
It's been a long one. Tell the world how to get a hold of you guys.
So you can get us on Facebook at our G3 Paranormal page. You can find us on YouTube as G3 Paranormal. You can find our website at g3paranormal.com. That is the best ways to get a hold of
Cool.
us. You know, come visit
Cool.
us, like us,
Yeah.
subscribe to us, can't promise you how often we're going to post stuff, but we're going to get out there. We're trying real hard to make sure that we're staying engaged with this awesome community that we've found, and next year we would love, or at least I would love to see if we could get 4 or 5 groups together and go somewhere on a big ghost hunt, tackle some facility for 3-4 days and just
Well,
totally cover it. Come to Texas.
If you come to Texas, leave your wallets at home because you're not gonna need it. Ghostly Ram. Hey man, I'm trying to multitask over here with what you're saying and the guys on the podcast. Man, hey, appreciate it, man. I appreciate you checking us out today. I really do.
Appreciate you having us on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Terry.
Oh,
Real
Terry,
quick,
and you
shout
didn't
out
do anything
PXL
naughty,
Network.
and you didn't do anything
Yes.
bad, and you didn't get your finger stuck in that light socket again. Aren't you lucky?
Wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
What were you saying, OG?
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just giving a quick shout out to the PXL Network.
Yeah, are you familiar with them, Terry?
No, I'm not actually.
You should get in touch with them. They're big up on our side of the country. And the other people I'd love to do a shout out is Malice in the Mitten. They're a true crime podcast that tells everybody they're paranormal adjacent. You know, because they're looking at all these crimes in Michigan, these crimes of passion and everything, serial killers, all the stuff that happens in Michigan, and they podcast about that part of it. And I've always been really curious about maybe going around and doing investigations at some of the sites that they podcast about.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool. Ghostly Ram, appreciate the love and support, brother. Hey, Texas is where it's at, man. I'm telling you. You want to save your money and you want to come investigate, hey, come to Texas, keep your credit cards and all that stuff at home because we don't believe to pay to play down here because our state is too big. There's too much here. I mean, we don't have to pay to play. I'm not hating on other states.
No,
sometimes,
that.
They got to do what they got to do to survive. But down here, one thing about us, we're going to survive.
If you like creepy cryptids, come here to Japan. I'll take you around. And you know what? We don't pay to play because nobody wants to visit these haunted places here, anyways.
So we'd have them all to ourselves.
And nobody wants to even know what's there because they say, okay, you're dead, you're there, and I'm living, so I'm here. I'll walk this way, you walk that way. We're cool. But you know what?
Cool. Well,
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I'll keep you safe. Hopefully, if you listen to me.
Well,
I'm not a good listener. Ask my wife. I'm not a good listener.
I'll make you listen. Don't worry.
That's all right, Ghostly Ram. I mean, you already know it, man. Hey, I'm gonna get you back on the show soon. All right, guys. Hey, one last question before we get you guys out of here.
Sure.
Paranormal bucket list. Where would you guys like to go? Anywhere in the world or outside the world? It can be Egypt. I mean, not Egypt, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Pluto. Anywhere, Moon, anywhere you guys want to go.
Go. Where do you want to go?
Where you want to go, OG?
It might be controversial, but Auschwitz.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That people have been there before and done investigations, but that would be an interesting place to go for sure.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Now, myself, I would like to, if that's in France, right?
Germany.
So you got to go through France to get to Germany. I would start off at Normandy Beach and just drive my way all the way through it.
That would be on my bucket list is Normandy Beach.
Yeah.
And I would love to go to Greece and check out Thermopylae.
Oh yeah, right on.
Yeah, anywhere where 300 people can stand and hold off a 1,000,000-man army. I want to see if I can reach out and talk to somebody.
Right.
Yeah, I want to see how they did it.
Exactly.
Take a lot of heart, a lot of soul.
That's
all
right.
Guys. Man, all right. Well, hey guys, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. I hope the podcast lived up to the hype. I
had a great time.
Definitely. Thank you again, Terry.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. OG, you're a little bit quiet, but next time we'll get you.
Yeah, you will.
We will get you. No problem. All you guys on TikTok, man, appreciate all the shout out, man. Over 300. Appreciate it.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you guys on the different social media platforms tonight, Facebook, Rumble, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. And all you guys that are in the chat, appreciate you guys joining us. Man, any last comments before we get you guys out of here? No? Well, hey, stay
No?
spooky,
See?
everybody. Stay
Awesome.
spooky. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night, same time, same station and channel.
Awesome.
And guys, don't forget Sunday, we got a double hitter. We got a podcast
Oh,
at 3 and we got
darn.
one at 7. So hey, in the meantime,
Wow.
Irene, get your sleep. You need it. So hey
Oh.
guys, this is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. Peace. You guys have a blessed
Bye,
evening, man. Enjoy the rest of
Bye.
your weekend. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you for
See you
joining us.
Hey, Adam
Later,
Campbell.
everyone.
Have a good weekend, and I will see you, Irene. I will see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Stay out of trouble, please. Can you
I'm
stay
never
out
in
of
trouble. You're the only one who's in trouble. You know that.
No.